What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Clown Questions, the show where there are no dumb questions. I'm your host, Matt K. Maurer, and today the clown question I'm asking is, did Rodgers fire Robert? I'll attempt to get to the bottom of that, and I will also be having on my lil bro, Jona Maurer. That's right, I lil broed him. Great interview with him. So without further ado, who's down to clown?
That's a clown question, bro.
So, did Rodgers fire Robert? No, I don't think that is what happened, but it's fun to say. Did Rodgers fire Robert? So, if you didn't hear the news, Robert Saleh, the New York Jets head coach, was fired. According to Bleacher Report, he was escorted out by security and he was not allowed to meet with players or address the team after he got fired following their loss in London. Really tough go of it for Robert Saleh, who had to play basically the entire year last year without a quarterback, aka Zach Wilson. And yeah, he only got 5 games under his belt with Rodgers before they told him to get out the door. They told him to get lost, and who knows? It might have been. I know I said no, but it could have been Rodgers who told him to get lost. But Rodgers did go on the Pat McAfee show, and he called quote any suggestions he had anything to do with Robert Saleh getting fired are patently false. Now, when he says that, that means that anything I say suggesting he had something to do with Robert Saleh is patently false. So everything I'm about to say is patently false. This was totally Rodgers' decision. He was essentially the head coach. I mean, he brought in Hackett, brought in Cobb, brought in Alan Lazard, all his buddies, his Packer buddies, his the OC with the Broncos. He wanted him because he used to be in Green Bay with him. So this was 100% Rodgers' move. He did not like Saleh, evidently. Um, but of course, all of that is patently false, according to Rodgers. I thought it was a weird firing because Robert Saleh is not in charge of the offense. And the one saving grace of the Jets this year has been they've got a pretty solid defense. Their offense has been struggling. Garrett Wilson and Rodgers' connection has not been as electric as everyone thought it was going to be. So weird move. They fired a defensive coach when, in reality, wouldn't the issue be Nathaniel Hackett, Aaron Rodgers' best buddy? But yeah, like I said, weird move. I don't really get it. Um, and yeah, it seems like Hackett might have been the correct firing here, but that's not who Rodgers wanted to fire. He did. That's patently false. Remember, Rodgers would never fire anyone. He's not a coach killer. But he might be. He might have had something to do with that. But again, patently false. Let's move on. I love talking in circles on this show. So if you're getting tired of that, circle back to this podcast and listen to it a different year. But our next question is, who's starting? We got a few different starters in the NFL this week with Derek Carr's oblique injury. Spencer Rattler, the rookie from South Carolina, will be starting. The Raiders coach, Antonio Pierce, announced that he will be benching Gardner Minshew this week for AOC. Of course, that's Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. Man, I'm not going to go there. I guess my brother didn't know who Alexandria was, but yeah, Ocasio-Cortez is going to be the starting quarterback for the Raiders. Of course, his actual name is Aiden O'Connell. He will be starting, as well as Drake May, the third overall pick. Patriots are announcing he will be starting week 6. So a lot of, the Drake May thing is exciting. Rattler and AOC. The AOC one is pretty depressing because we all saw O'Connell play last year and not great. I mean, evidently he was better than Jimmy Garoppolo. But yeah, anytime your QB controversy is between Minshew Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, you're probably not in a great spot. And of course, they got to trade Devonta Adams now too. So yeah, tough year to be a Raider. Spencer Rattler, I'm interested to see. I've been a Derek Carr hater as of late. Me and Dr. Jones, like 6 years ago, we had an inside joke that LeBron's the GOAT, but Derek Carr's the boat. He's the best of all time. Um, I don't believe he's the boat anymore. He used to be the boat. Um, I'm getting so off track here, but yeah, Rattler had some success in college, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do as a Saint here. And yeah, I'm sure the Patriots fans are overjoyed to see Drake May. Although I do think it's a weird move because they said they were going to they were going to have Jacoby Brissett lead the team. Have Drake May learn behind him, sit maybe a year, sat 5 games. Now he's in. To me, I don't know. Maybe I mean Brissett's a pro, so he undoubtedly learned a lot of valuable insight from Brissett, but 5 weeks in seems so like soon. Like, why didn't he just start week one? That's kind of my question. I get into that with Jona a little bit though. We'll talk that later. And who else is starting? Shams Tranya. I don't know how to say it. Someone help me out here. But Shams is now the new starting NBA insider for ESPN. Yes, after Woj retires, they went and got the second best in the game. Some would say he was even better than Woj, but I don't know. Yeah, do we call it a Shams bomb now? Because I haven't really heard people call it a Shams bomb. They had the Woj bomb. I don't know. Was that exclusive to Woj? Maybe we can think of a Sham slam. No, that's stupid. Um, but yeah, best him and Schefter. Shams and Schefter are, two of the best insiders in the business. Some people were thinking maybe Schefter would, just double up, do NFL and NBA insiding. But no, it's going to be Shams. ESPN paid him all the money in the world, and he's worth it. He's the best in the business. Speaking of someone else who's the best in the business, my safety, my team's safety, the Packers starting safety. We went out and got him this offseason from the New York Giants. We paid him. Still the most underpaid safety in the league, should be the highest paid, but he is not. He's 5 million behind that. But I didn't ask the question yet. Is Xavier McKinney the MVP? I think through 5 weeks he is. I just saw a Twitter post that said it's a joke that Mahomes is I know the Chiefs are 5-0, but it's a joke Mahomes is the MVP favorite with numbers like this. I showed it. He's got like 6 interceptions, 6 touchdowns too, but no, it's not Mahomes. It's Xavier McKinney, the MVP. He had a fumble recovery and an interception in addition to 3 tackles and I think 2 pass breakups. He is absurdly good. This was his 5th interception in 5 games. He's only played 5 games as a Packer. He has an interception in every single one. And he has become the first player since 1970 to record an interception in each of his first 5 games with a team. I'd like to know who did it in 1969, but basically since the merger, no one has done what Xavier McKinney has done, getting 5 picks in his first 5 games with the Packers. I've seen enough. Give him the MVP, give him the depoy. He deserves it because no one's putting up numbers like his. Xavier McKinney is 1 interception shy of how many interceptions the presumptive MVP Patrick Mahomes has thrown with 6. I haven't checked the Vegas odds, but according to that one Twitter post I saw, Mahomes is the favorite. But I think McKinney should be, and that's my biased Packers spiel for this podcast. Let's talk some baseball. Are the Dodgers dicks? No, I don't think they are, but their fans might be. In a clobbering, they got clobbered by the Padres. I forget if it was game 2 or game 3. I think they got clobbered in both, but in one of them, kind of a back and forth game until the Padres put up 10 runs. Apparently, there was a fan who threw a baseball back at left fielder Jerkson Profar for the Padres. He didn't like that, and I don't, I'm with him. You don't want fans to be throwing shit at you. And then Fernando Tatis, the Padres right fielder, apparently people were throwing debris, probably empty beer cans, this and that at Tatis. And I'm sure he didn't like that either. He didn't he wasn't mad. They asked him about it in his post game press conference, and he kind of just shrugged it off. But there was a significant delay in that game for these stupid Dodgers fans, these stupid drunk Dodgers fans doing this. Um, but I'm excited. I'm excited for Game 5. The Dodgers just did what the Padres had been doing and kicked their ass. They won, I think, 8-0 tonight. So we got a winner take all Game 5 on Friday. Best two words in sports, Game 5. I should also mention, though, from that same game where they're throwing shit at Profar and Tatis, I guess Manny Machado kind of threw a grounder into the Dodgers dugout. So maybe trying to get a little revenge there, but that could have been, that could have been dangerous. If a ball hits you in the wrong spot, you can get injured pretty easily by a hard ball if it's got some speed on it. And Machado's got some zip on the ball, so no one got hurt. But I'd call it even after Machado did that. See that there's a difference between like a pitcher intentionally hitting someone and like a position player throwing to the opposing player's dugouts. That's bush league. That's what we call that. Um, but yeah, winner take all Game 5. I'm looking forward to it. Gotta be rooting for this guy, Shohei. I'm brandishing the jersey for all those SoundCloud, Spotify, or Audacity listeners. Um, let's talk some college football. Don't have too much here. I just have this question: is Alabama football dead? I wish. I wish they were dead. I hate them so much. You guys know why I hate them. I hate them because I ain't them. But they had an epic loss this past Saturday. They lost to unranked 2-2 Vanderbilt. They lost 40-35. An absolute an absolute upset. One of the greatest upsets of all time. People in Vanderbilt will be talking about that game 50 years from now. Vandy gets the win. Everyone storms the field. The students tear down the goalpost, and then they took that goalpost like 4 miles down Broadway to throw it in the river. So just amazing. That's why college football is I'm probably NFL over college football guy myself, just personally, because I like the NFL because I know all the names, so I'm familiar with everyone and I can talk about it a lot easier. College, I don't know as many names. But this is one reason college football is just different than NFL. You can't storm the field at an NFL game. You sure as shit can't tear down the goalpost and throw it in the river. You used to be able to do that in the NFL, I think in the 70s, but not anymore. But college keeps on going. I saw Arkansas was another team that had an upset over Tennessee. Arkansas, I guess, was fined $250,000 for storming the field, and then Vandy was fined $100,000 because they were only a first-time offender. SEC, this is pretty fucking stupid. That's $1 for the F bomb jar, but the SEC rule is stupid that you have to pay a fine. I got to get change out of the F bomb jar to pay this fine for Auntie J. Um, there it is, $1 in the F bomb jar. I get to keep these $4 as my change. But what was I talking about? Arkansas. Oh, the SEC fining you for storming the field, I think, is ridiculous. You got to get rid of it. I understand a fine, though, if you damage property. So the Vanderbilt fine makes sense to me because, yeah, they broke a goalpost. I'm sure that thing is expensive. So I think if stuff is damaged, a fine is warranted. But Arkansas stormed the field and they lowered the goalposts before the fans could jump on them. So there was no like damage to the field as far as I know. So, but Vanderbilt gets the lighter fine as the first time offender. But SEC, come on, it's the greatest thing in all sports to storm the field. I don't know about that. Yeah, it's pretty far up there. If you're ranking greatest things in sports, I guess it'd be what? Super Bowl one, a walk off, two, storming the field three. I don't know. It's up there. It's up there. But yeah, SEC, get rid of the fines. And Alabama football, please stay dead. But we all know they won't. They're probably still going to win the championship this year. Um, I wish they were dead, but they're not. They're going to be fine. This is their worst loss maybe ever, and they are going to be pissed next week. Whoever they're playing is in for a rude awakening. I'll tell you that. Let's talk a little bit of WNBA. We're in the midst of the playoffs. I know I haven't been talking about it much, but I don't know much about it. So I'll just ask the question. Cheryl Reeve did what? So I'll just read this straight from the article. The Athletic reported an altercation took place between Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve and several Sun players following Game 1. According to the report, Reeve, quote, ran up, end quote, on Sun players because she took issue with the way they celebrated their Game 1 victory. Sources told The Athletic that arena security had to defuse the situation. Like the players always say, we are really competitive people, Reeve said about the altercation. Lynx guard Courtney Williams said she didn't even notice the Suns celebrating after Game 1. I didn't even see them celebrating, she said. I was focused on us. Whatever they did, they did. Excuse me. That was from a little bit ago. That was during the conference finals of the WNBA. We now have the WNBA finals matchup set, but just an interesting little story there. I didn't get much more information on that. I tried to look on the Athletic. We had to pay for the article. I'm not gonna pay. I'm not gonna pay to read, dude. I don't even. I don't even know if I would read if I got paid to read. But yeah, I'm not paying for the Athletic. But yeah, kind of reminiscent of that. I forget, it was Suns Rockets where there was like there was an alleged fight as I swat away a mosquito that's probably gonna still come and bite me. But yeah, kind of reminds you of that Rockets Suns altercation years back where certain players, maybe it was Chris Paul, ran from one locker room to the other, banging on the door, demanding to get in. I don't think it was quite that level of drama, but they just. I guess Reeves. She said it's one game. This is a 5-game series. You guys are celebrating too much. I don't know. I didn't watch that game, so I don't know. Maybe it was like Patrick Beverly in the play-in type celebration. Jumping into the stands. I'm sure it wasn't that bad, but yeah, Reeve was like, hey, you can celebrate when you win the series, but you won one game, so get out of here. But despite all of that, Cheryl Reeve's team, the Minnesota Lynx, are going to be in the WNBA finals. Game 1 is tomorrow. It is the Lynx versus the Liberty. I'll just make a pick here quick. I'll take the Liberty in 5. Make an interesting series. Sabrina Ionesco, WNBA Finals MVP, for sure. But for Ploff Warrior, John Platzer, and the King, all of their picks are still alive. Ploff and John both picked the Lynx to quote break the Minnesota sports drought, which I fact checked. The Lynx last won a title in 2017, and I believe if the Lynx win this championship, they will have the most championships of any WNBA team in history. So Minnesota sports fans are gonna breathe a sigh of relief when they finally break their 7-year drought from the last time the Lynx won the title. But yeah, obviously Ploff, John, they both got the Lynx, and I'm taking the liberty because the king had the liberty, and Sabrina Ionesco is she walked so Caitlin Clark could run. That's who Sabrina Ionesco is, and that's why I got the liberty winning. 2 words, Sabrina Ionesco, and I think I pronounced it right. Um, but yeah, I hate to bring up the WNBA with like an altercation, but hey, there's no such thing as bad publicity, right? I don't know. Anything that gets us talking about women's basketball, I think is good for the game. Obviously, post game altercations maybe aren't. But let's move on. Let's go to first year interruption. This week's first year interruption is Alabama related, or should I say Vanderbilt related. Obviously, they pull the monumental upset. It snapped a 23-game losing streak to Alabama. I think their last win was like 1984 or something crazy. Um, but yeah, their quarterback Diego Pavia balled out. They wouldn't have won the game without him. And as fans were storming the field, he got interviewed post game, and just very inspiring, and a little bit of some funny words from Diego Pavia here. So that's going to be first year interruption this week. So here's first year interruption with Vanderbilt Commodores quarterback Diego Pavia.
Into the chaos, Alyssa.
Diego, you just beat the #1 team in the country. What's going through your mind right now?
It's literally all God's timing, literally from the jump. God gave me a vision when I was a little kid, and he don't let back any promises. It's God's time. Like, I'm super thankful. Super thankful for guys like Eli Stowers. Man, that kid's incredible. The rest of our team, look at this. Look at this. Daddy, we're fucking turned.
Diego, what were you saying to your team to finish this game?
Shit. Games like this change your life, you know what I mean? It's all about hype nowadays, and I don't like it like that, but it's a reality of NAL and all that stuff, but just stay grounded, be where my feet are, and every single day tomorrow I gotta work on Kentucky. You
had 70 family members here. What did it mean to do this in front of them?
Where they at? Where they at? Where's the fam at? Where's the fam at? Come on!
Where's the fam at? Where's the fam at? I thought that was a very inspiring interview, kind of speech from Diego Pavia there. You know, he said he dreamed about this moment since he was a kid, you know, giving glory to God. We love. He kind of did the Drake meme after the Toronto Raptors won the championship. He's like, look at this. Look at this. This didn't exist. We created this. That was kind of what Diego did. And I can't imagine the adrenaline and joy and elation, in his heart at that time. Like you said, games like this change your life. Vandy's greatest win of all time. I can't talk enough about it because I hate Alabama. I hate them because I ain't them. But we have gone over that. For now, let's get to our interview. I don't mean to lil bro him, but my lil bro, Jona, will be the interview for today, unfortunately, for any viewers or listeners. But shout out lil bro. Thank you for pulling up. And here he is, Jona Maurer. All right, now pulling up to the pod is a reoccurring guest. It is my little bro, Jona Maurer. Welcome back to the show. Thanks for joining me, Jona.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me once again. It's I wish it was in a different week, to be honest with you, but that's okay.
Yeah. Did you see what I did there? I little bro'd you.
I'm your little brother, so
a lot of little broing going on.
It's okay. NFL. I'm taller than you. You can say it all you want.
Damn, I shouldn't have provoked him. All right. Well, so you're in Clemson now. First question, because this is obviously a very serious issue you guys are dealing with. How have you guys been dealing with the hurricane, you and your roommate Josh?
So the first one, like actually that was like the first time that apparently a hurricane has hit like inland South Carolina and like North Carolina as bad as it did. So like we had the eye of the hurricane pretty much right over us, and
oh wow.
Clemson was pretty torn up for a few days. I mean, like Asheville, North Carolina, and areas over there got it 10 times worse than us, but we were without power and everything for a few days. But then they had game day at home on Saturday, so the city went absolutely berserk to clear all the roads and just fix everything up in time. Although we only had 2 bars open that game day weekend, so that was
Ooh, crowded. Did you get in them?
Yeah.
That was a big home test against Florida State, right? Maybe the worst team in college football.
I don't even.
One of them.
Yeah,
Florida State is so bad. But I do want to talk some Clemson later, because I have a take on them. You might have read it already, but let's start with some NFL, and this is probably the reason you didn't want to do the podcast this week. So I'll just start off with that question. Is it Russ Wilson time in Pittsburgh?
I'm going to quickly answer a question that you didn't ask first. The loss to the Cowboys was not Justin Fields' fault, like
It's not what I said.
Fans think. So my answer to your question is no.
It's not.
It is not Russell Wilson time because realistically, would there have been more long balls in other games? Yeah, obviously. It's a vet quarterback, whatever. But our wide receivers aren't catching shit, so that a quarterback isn't going to change anything. Our best wide receiver is George Pickens, and all he wants to do is fight motherfuckers. Oh, swear jar.
That's fair, but I don't know. I saw I think today Russell Wilson was a full participant in practice, so he finally is ready to be a real QB, no longer just an emergency QB. I don't know. I just figured, he was named the starter at the beginning of the season. Doesn't that make him still the starter? Because he hasn't, played his way out of a job yet, right?
I mean, yes. Yeah, I mean, technically you're not wrong. At the same time, like, we've got 2 losses right now. One of them, I mean, both of them shouldn't have been a loss in the first place. I'm not going to blame refs, even though I could. But our wide receivers just can't catch a ball, can't do anything downfield. Najee Harris runs nothing but horizontal. Like, Russell Wilson being put in the game would not change anything. And I guarantee you Russ would have had just as bad of games, if not worse, than what Justin Fields has done thus far. Like, Russ would probably have another 3 or 4 picks. Let's be honest.
Okay, fair enough. So you want to roll with Fields?
I
guess
I want to roll. Yes, I want to roll with Fields because, well, especially because future purposes, we've got both these guys on 1-year deals. If we bench Fields now, although I have seen a take from a lot of Pittsburgh fans saying that we should bench Fields this year so we don't have to pay him as much next year.
And you can give up a 6th instead of a 4th round draft pick, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Do you think? I know you want to roll with Fields. What do you think Tomlin's thinking in his head? Do you think he's trying to go back to Wilson, or you think he's trying to like keep up a fake injury, keep him as the emergency guy, so there's no controversy?
I genuinely think that Tomlin wants Fields to work out so bad. But if Fields starts on Sunday and we somehow lose to the Raiders, Fields is out no matter what.
Sure.
It's 3 straight losses, starting off 3-0, just going downhill against worse competition in those games.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting to see what happens, especially because I don't know how accurate these reports are, but I saw a few reports talking about they might split some snaps against the Raiders and just kind of treat it like
I was going to ask you, do you think they're considering the change this week, or are they using this Raiders game as a litmus test? But you think they're both going to play on Sunday?
I genuinely would not be surprised if they treated this game on Sunday. Because, okay, the Raiders are the Raiders. And I'm not like our defense versus the Raiders should not put up a point. We should be able to win this game with only Chris Boswell field goal.
They got AOC though. Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. Aiden O'Connell. I'm kidding. Not the politician.
Was he named the starter for this next week?
They just named him the starter.
Okay, because I know he came in at the end of the game last week, or I don't even know if end of the game.
I know you love AOC the politician, but you're not a fan of AOC the quarterback, right?
Let me even tell you who AOC the politician is.
He's the hot senator. Sorry, let's move on. I got sidetracked thinking about AOC.
But yeah, so I genuinely think the Steelers are gonna, or just wouldn't be surprised if they play it like a preseason game where like they have their starter, aka Russ, play the first quarter just to kind of get his legs a little warmed up, not get him playing a full game by any means. Because realistically, we could win that. We should be able to win this game with our defense and get into field goal range if we put
Kyle Allen could win this game.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like I won't be surprised if they put Russ in for a quarter and then have Fields finish out.
That'd be a hell of a that's the QB competition. Raiders.
Quite honestly,
Raiders
at this
week.
point, if wide receivers decide to start catching balls for Russell Wilson and not Fields, then shit, we might as well switch. Like, we just.
Yeah. No, you guys got to trade for Devonta Adams. That's what you guys got to do.
I would agree. Shit, let's send Russ a few picks to the Raiders for Devonta.
Wait, why would that not be a great trade? The Raiders
could
use
we can send Russ in a fifth round pick or we can send Russ in a fifth round pick to the Dolphins for Waddle. I'm just saying we have options out here of teams that need a quarterback, and we have two startable quarterbacks in this league. So
I think that's the problem, though. It's kind of like a year-long tryout. The Steelers are seeing maybe one of these guys can be our franchise.
Like in fantasy, when you draft two quarterbacks and then they end up being the number 3 and number 4, and you have no idea what the hell to do. Not saying that Fields and Russ are anywhere. Actually, technically, isn't Fields like a top 10?
Well, in fantasy football, Fields is pretty damn good. Yeah, he's definitely top 10 in fantasy with all the rushing TDs and rushing yards. But yeah, it's a weird situation. That's why I wanted to ask you about it. But let's move on to. I'm definitely bringing up a bad take you had from preseason. Like you said, it's not your fault, but I'm gonna re-ask you the question: what's the best division in football? Because I feel like we had this debate in preseason, like AFC North versus NFC North.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I know my answer at this point, but it's probably just based on record.
Obviously,
who do you think's the best?
At this point, yeah, I'm gonna go. I mean, okay. Preseason, I said AFC North, and nobody could look at me crazy for saying that. And obviously, nobody figured. Well, honestly, the Browns are the Browns, so them starting 1-4 really isn't that surprising. But the Bengals starting 1-4 is crazy. But yes, I will agree with you. Record-wise, I want to say. Just overall, yes, I would say NFC North. But
I'm realizing now it's kind of a dumb question because the NFC North is the only division that has every team has a winning record.
Yeah. But I also kind of put I forget which NFC division it is, but the Seahawks, Cardinals,
The
Niners,
West.
and,
Yeah.
who's the fourth team?
Cardinals?
No, I already said Cardinals. Seahawks, Cardinals,
Seahawks, 49ers.
And
we said all of them.
Cardinals, Seahawks, 49ers.
That's Rams. Packers just played.
Oh, okay. The Rams are worse,
well,
but
they got Cup and Puka out right now.
And obviously the Niners are injured, Rams are beat up, but I think if Niners are the Niners, they always somehow figure something out. Like look at Mason absolutely cooking this year for I didn't even know who he was until he had 24 points in the first game.
Yeah.
But
so you'd say West, NFC West or North?
I mean, easy answer, NFC North, but based on how teams have actually been playing, I'm gonna go NFC West because I think the Bears are fraudulent, and I'm not hating on the Packers by any means because Malik Willis got them 2 dubs, but Jordan Love just doesn't look like Jordan Love.
Hey, what about that dime to Jaden Reed to start the game? Yeah, that pick 6 was bad though. I'll give you that.
I think he's had like 3 good plays this year that I can like think of. When in years past,
Love?
when in years past he's had a
He's had
lot.
more than that, but yeah. No, it was tough for a little bit. People had the stat. They're like, "Hey, Malik Willis is 2-0 and Love's 0-2 this year. What's going on there?" But Love got back to it. Got to win this week. But we're not here to talk about Jordan Love. I wanted to talk some rookie quarterbacks with you actually. So it was just announced, I think by both teams, or maybe the Patriots announced it yesterday, but Patriots announced that Drake May is going to start this week, week 6 game. So, what do you think? Do you think Drake May is ready?
Um, with the Patriots team and roster and the fact that they literally benched their best player on their team and Ramondre Stevenson and then instantly unbenched him, I'm gonna go with actually, I guess I don't even know if he's unbenched, but after his game last week, I would assume he probably is. But
You'd think.
I, I guess I'm gonna say yeah, because at this point you know exactly what Brissett has to offer. At this point, you've got obviously a lot more upside with May, and
Mhm.
I mean I don't think Brissett hasn't been very good, has he?
No, no, no. I mean, he looked okay the first 2 weeks, but yeah, hasn't gotten a lot going on offense as of late.
Yeah, and I mean
But
obviously them having little to no targets, just like the Steelers, that's not going to help any quarterback that comes into a position like that. So, although I will say, as a Jalen Polk fantasy owner, I hope Drake May finds his fellow rookie for a few.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. It was just the whole situation was kind of interesting to me because it's like if you're gonna put May in this early in the season, like that's completely going against your plan of, oh, we want him to sit and learn, and like why don't you just start him week 1 at this point if this is what you're gonna do, you know?
I can understand. I can understand like rookies sitting a few weeks to at least like get a feel for like just actually being on an NFL field of something that's not a preseason game and actually like talking to the starting quarterback in between plays, seeing what he saw, seeing what he didn't see, and like going over those like when they got their tablets on the sideline and obviously film. So I can understand that, but at the same time, like I just don't think kind of like the Panthers, you put a young guy in that lineup, I just don't think he's gonna do great until you put enough pieces around him.
Fair enough. Well, speaking of someone who does kind of have quite a few pieces around him, Spencer Rattler with the Derek Carr injury, the Saints are going to start Rattler this week. So I know he didn't go to Clemson, but he played at South Carolina for a little bit. So I'm assuming you've watched a little bit of Rattler. So what do you think about him with the Saints? Is he ready? I mean, he kind of
I
kind of
I'm not
has to
gonna
be with
say
the injury.
he's ready. I think he'll look like
Caleb Williams,
no, I genuinely think
Bears Caleb Williams,
no, he'll be like a Bears. How many years was Fields on the Bears?
three,
Three?
3 or
I want
4.
to say like a year two Bears Fields.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's not
Because
bad. I mean, it could be worse.
I genuinely think he has a lot of upside
Wait, was year 2 Fields when he broke the quarterback rushing record?
for a single game or what?
Didn't know. Didn't Fields had like over 1,000. I think he had the most single season rushing yards for a quarterback. Maybe I'm
Okay,
wrong
maybe
on that.
year two was a bad pick.
But
We'll go year
but you
one.
think similar to that's an
Yeah,
interesting
I think he'll be
comparison. I don't
similar
is
to a
Rattler the runner that Fields is?
not nearly as. Yeah, I guess maybe that was too much.
I don't know. We don't have to think of a comparison. I was just kind of
But
wondering what
no,
are your thoughts on him? You think he's ready to lead this Saints team that's lost 3 games in a row now?
how bad is Carr's injury?
It's like an oblique, so he'll probably miss a couple weeks. I don't think it's not like season
Two,
ending
three.
or anything like that.
I mean, I think it'll be hard for teams to defend because he's very capable of running and like not that Carr isn't, but like Rattler's speed compared to Carr's speed is going to be a completely different animal.
For sure.
But I mean, I haven't seen Rattler throw a ball in a very long time. So that'll be, I mean, I guess behind Carr's got a cannon on him. So I'm sure he learned some things. Hopefully he can show that, but
Yeah.
also hopefully he gets Chris Olave involved because holy crap. Chris Olave has
been lacking.
like, I think there's a wide receiver on the Saints. I
Rashid
forgot.
Shaheed.
No, it's like a dude I've never heard of before, and he had like way too many targets in the other game when they have Rashid and Olave never sees the ball.
Did you notice in that Monday night Chiefs Saints game that when Carr got hurt, they put in, I think, Jake Hayner? I thought that was curious. I was like, why wasn't Rattler already the backup? But I don't know. I guess he was the emergency QB that night.
I don't think I picked up on that.
Yeah, they put in Hayner.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what we have from Rattler. But back to the NFC North, you kind of alluded to, you think the Bears are a fraudulent 3-2. You're not loving what you've seen from Love this year, which is fair to an extent. But I'll ask you about one of the two 5-0 teams. Only the Chiefs and Vikings are undefeated at this point in the season. So I'll ask this question. I think you alluded to it a little bit, but do you think the Vikings are frauds? Fraudulent 5-0?
I genuinely don't. At least not yet. Because, like, Sam Darnold in the past, teams don't have to game plan for you. And now that teams are going to start to get more and more film on Darnold, I think it'll get a little tougher for them, but they've got a hell of a defense. They've got weapons. Aaron Jones is having a pretty solid year. Obviously, Jefferson is clearly the best wide receiver in the league this year. It's not even a question. Actually, yeah. Nico Collins has been cooking, but he's on IR now. So
he's hurt now. Nope, it's Jefferson.
Yeah. But so I don't know. I think as long as they stay healthy, I genuinely think they'll be a very good team. Although, can I picture them winning a playoff game? That is a completely different question.
Hope not. Uncle the King, he picked the Vikings to win the Super Bowl, which I thought was I don't know. I mean,
like he picked it on the podcast, or he bet on it?
He picked it on the podcast to win the Super Bowl.
I was going to say, if he bet on that, actually, I guess they're
throwing away money.
Probably aren't.
You probably get decent odds on them. I don't think they're second to the Chiefs in terms of Super Bowl odds, but yeah. So you think they might? You think Sam Darnold is a potential fraud? Is what you're saying? You think he's going to start seeing ghosts?
The Vikings team healthy as a whole is very, very good. But I think it comes down to once we get to week 10, week 11, week 12, when teams have that much tape on Darnold and everything they're doing with Jefferson. And I don't even know. Oh, I guess they've got Addison. And Hawkinson, is he back or is he coming back soon?
Not yet, but soon, I think.
And I was going to say, and that's just going to add more firepower that teams aren't going to be ready for. Actually, yeah, no, Vikings aren't frauds.
They're not frauds. Okay.
Well, I don't think they're fraudulent, but I think playoff games are very different. As a Steelers fan, I trust me, I know we always make the playoffs and can't win a game.
You think they're regular season legit playoff frauds? Got it. So
yeah,
not a true Super Bowl.
They might be like the Steelers team, Claypool's rookie year when we won 11-0 and then just shit the bed the rest of the way and lost in the first round.
You guys clinched a playoff spot week 13, and then we're trashed the rest of the year. Look at his face.
Spot week 13, and then I think we lost 4 straight, maybe.
Oh,
that's why. Sorry to go back to the Steelers. That's why I said it was a terrible week to do this because that's all I'm thinking.
Terrible towel.
The way we finish our season is disgusting. We play the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Bengals twice, the Ravens twice, and I don't know. There's one other just team that's playing great right now that we've got in our final 7 games.
Yeah, that sounds like a gauntlet. You guys better start winning some
games. And we just lost to a poverty Indianapolis Colts. And I literally called the fact that Joe Flacco was going to come into the game and cook us one more time.
Yeah.
And then of course the Cowboys game.
It's tough. But yeah, so you were kind of saying and I think I agree with you. Vikings are a good team. I don't see them as legit Super Bowl contenders. I'm probably, placing that blame on Darnold. I don't totally believe in him yet, but
I would
um,
agree.
but yeah. So we don't think the Vikings are Super Bowl contenders, but who do you think are? Can you give me a Super Bowl pick here?
Going back to my Super Bowl. So obviously, start of the preseason, I said if Steelers got Ayuk, it was going to be Steelers.
Oh yeah, I
Steelers
forgot. I
Packers.
already asked you this on the pod.
But then I said if Steelers don't get a wide receiver, which we didn't, I guess we still kind of have a chance. Then I said Chiefs Packers. And
So you're gonna stay with that. It depends on Devontae. If the Steelers get Devontae, they're winning it all. If they don't, it'll be the Chiefs three-peat. Do you think? I like that take.
yeah.
I like that
Yeah.
take.
I don't, dude. The Chiefs are just too good, and every time you watch them play football, it's just the most like effortless backyard
Dude,
football.
they brought in Kareem Hunt and Juju Smith-Schuster off the street, and they look like elite players. That both of them looked so good against the Saints Monday night, and they were sitting on
how
their
upset I
couch 2
was
weeks
as a
ago.
Steelers fan to see Juju Smith-Schuster go off for 120 and a touchdown on Monday Night Football after we just lost because we don't have any wide receivers. I was livid.
It's tough.
And the fact that, like, obviously when he was on the Pats, he played like buns, but like, I don't think Garrett Wilson, I don't think Devontae would put up stats on the Pats. Like, it's literally
true.
It's a statless team unless you're the running back.
Fair enough.
Although their defense does put up some points.
But yeah, no, I like the pick. Chiefs, unless Devontae Adams gets traded to the Steelers, then it's the Steelers. But let me get a different pick from you here. Let's talk some Thursday night football. We got 49ers at the Seahawks. 49ers are favored -3.5. Who you got? Who you got covering? What do you got for me?
I love this game so much. I feel like these two teams always have great matchups too. And I mean, obviously the Seahawks are getting a little help with the Niners being very broken.
And a little bit of landslide right now. Yeah, no McCaffrey. Many problems, I guess.
Well, that's the thing is like people say no McCaffrey, but Mason is literally just running over every team he comes by.
Jordan Mason has been very good. You're right.
Yeah, I was gonna say people can't even blame it on McCaffrey at this point. Their team might just their run is over. They didn't make it happen. But with that being said, I think I'm gonna take the Seahawks.
Seahawks +3.5, or you got Seahawks money line. You got them winning. Just take the points.
Nah, I'm gonna take them winning.
Oh, okay. It's Seahawks money line. I like it. You get better odds, win a little more money. Yeah, you like Gino and
I might just put some money down. Honestly, I don't even like. Okay, I don't hate.
They're
Gino.
both coming off brutal losses.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Don't hate Gino. Don't love Gino. But I love their wide receiver core. With
you would love Gino on the Seahawks. Maybe.
Or you mean on the Steelers?
On the Steelers. He is on the Seahawks.
No, I mean compared to what we have, I think I'd rather have both of our options.
Fair enough.
But
you got Seahawks winning this game.
I'll take Seahawks. I think they might cook.
All right. So 49ers are reeling here.
I also hope this is one of the few Thursday night football games that's actually good because I feel like their Monday night and Thursday night schedules this year are just awful.
Last week's game was insane though. Kadarius Hodge, the Falcons, Kirko.
Oh yeah. No, that was
Kirko swag surfing. That was swagged and then he surfed. All right. Well, that's what I got for you on the NFL. Before we move on to college, would you like to do a new segment presented by no one?
Hey, it could be presented by somebody.
Yeah, you offered me $1. I'm not taking that deal.
Yeah, but you're not making anything for it now.
That's true, but
All right.
I feel
Yeah,
a
but I
little
can't
insulted
sponsor
by that.
I can't sponsor a segment that I'm on. All right. Yes, I will play.
You could. All right. Well, this new segment is called Would You Rather. I think you're familiar with the game. So I'm gonna shout them out rapid fire kind of thing. But would you rather have Gardner Minshew or AOC as your starting quarterback?
Is this for like their team or just would I
Their
rather
team.
have it for my team?
Uh their team. We'll say their team. Yeah.
So like for the Raiders. I like Gardner too much. I gotta say Gardner. I'm too much of a fan. He's so electric. Although, no, I'm sticking Gardner.
Minshew Magic. Yeah, Antonio Pierce disagrees. All right. Would you rather Deshaun Watson or Jameis Winston?
Easy answer. Hey, Meese.
Gotta go.
And
Gotta go,
The
Jameis.
Saints are gonna miss him so bad this week.
We'll see. We'll see what Rattler can do. It'll be interesting. All right. I think I asked you this one already, but I'm gonna ask it again. Would you rather Russell Wilson or Justin Fields?
Justin Fields.
All right. Two more for you. Would you rather Arch Manning or Quinn Ewers?
Ooh,
Gotta
this
think
one I
about this
actually
one.
really like. And this is for right now, right now.
Correct.
I mean, personally, I would go Arch Manning because he does everything
love
that
it.
Quinn Ewers can do, except he is faster and more mobile and agile. Although Quinn Ewers at the start of the season is a Heisman candidate, he hasn't done anything to show that he shouldn't be a starter. So I'm gonna go with, I mean, it's got to be Quinn. You
Quinn
can't.
Ewers, but you'd like to see Arch.
Yeah,
That's
I would like to see Arch, but we're gonna see him no matter what. And Arch knew exactly what he was getting himself into going to that school. He just went there for the fact that there's great coaches and good progression.
Yeah, maybe they should do what the Steelers are gonna do on Sunday. Do the two quarterback system. That'd be good.
Wait, that would actually
bring in Arch for the read option. But
Well,
all
at
right,
that point,
last.
when you have two guys like that, don't you almost like give the wide receivers vote?
Wait, what?
Don't you like at that point when you have two guys like that? Don't you almost like give the wide receivers like not like a vote, but like
Oh yeah,
ask
you're
the
like, who
wide
do you guys
receivers
like
for their
better?
like opinion? Not like who's better, but like who do you think puts the ball in your pocket better? Who do you think like?
Yeah, dude, I absolutely love the idea of George Pickens getting to decide the Steelers starting quarterback. Who do you think George would go with?
I think he would ask for a trade. To be honest, like I don't know, dude. He just
George would be like, put me at quarterback, dude. I'm done with this.
well, no, I don't. I don't know what our game plan was last week, but he dropped in usage by like 30 to 40%,
Yeah.
and he was a decoy on 25 or more than 25% of his snaps, and then every other snap he just wanted to take somebody's head off. So I don't even know what this dude is doing.
Yeah, that's not what you want from your number one wide receiver. I love the play at the end where he just grabbed the guy's face mask after the game was over.
I mean,
But okay, we're
you can't just say that and not let me speak on it.
sorry, speak on it.
If I personally, although I was kind of an asshole when I played sports, so that's not a great
Yeah, you were
comparison.
a savage,
But
bro.
like, if somebody walked up to me after my team lost and it was as close of a game as it was, and like came down to the bullshit lateral that it did, and walks up to me after they've been going at it all game, like borderline getting into fights, and just talks right in my face, like, yeah, I'm gonna push him or do something. Like, I think he was right for it? No. Would I have done the same? Probably. Like,
You
I'm
and
not
George Pickens are very similar. You
like
guys
I
got the
don't.
same
Oh, okay.
mentality.
Oh, we don't need
You guys have
that.
the same mentality. You love wearing shiesties. You guys are very similar.
I
But
don't I don't own a shiesty. I was thinking about it for a while, but George Pickens is kind of on my nerves right now, so I'm boycotting shiesties currently.
you're boycotting shiesties because it's just Pickens on your nerves. I love it. All right. Well, last would you rather for you, and this one's kind of more of a hypothetical, but would you rather Sam Darnold or JJ McCarthy? I guess we'll just say like a healthy JJ McCarthy.
I mean, Sam Darnold hasn't shown me anything to prove otherwise. And quite honestly, I thought JJ McCarthy, I, I, I literally, Josh,
Over
you know Josh.
overdrafted, you think? Yeah, I
Josh
know
is
Josh.
a Broncos fan. So in this past draft, the Broncos are obviously going after a quarterback.
Yeah, he probably wanted
Josh
McCarthy.
swore that if they drafted JJ McCarthy, he would no longer be a Bronco.
He was okay with Bo Nix, though.
Yes, no, he loves Bo Nix. And quite
Interesting.
honestly, I thought Bo Nix was a better quarterback too.
So he thinks JJ McCarthy was kind of a Jim Harbaugh Michigan merchant. He just happened to have everyone else on his team be the top of their game. He's just
Yes,
kind of the game
although I guess
manager.
now you look at
Yeah,
Michigan and their
that's the
current
rhetoric.
quarterback situation, and their quarterback just isn't very good. Or I guess he just doesn't look good. So maybe JJ McCarthy is good, but at the same time, they are under a new head coach. So you wonder how much changed. But
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, we're going with Sam Darnold for that. Thank you for doing the new segment presented by No One. Let's talk some college football. I absolutely love that I'm able to ask this question. I don't know if it's been asked in a while, but is Alabama football dead after losing to Vanderbilt?
oh, like dead this season or dead as a
I
entire
don't. I think I already know the answer is no, but I just liked asking the question. Is Alabama football dead? Please say yes.
as far as longevity, no, obviously not. But as far as this year, with a 12-team playoff, though,
That's no, that's the thing. I don't think they're dead at all. I just
I
I just
don't know.
want I just
I
want
don't
them to
think
be because I
they're
hate
dead
them.
by any means. But if they have a few close games to just not very good teams, I think there will be a very big argument for them not to be even close because I mean, obviously there's plenty of one-loss teams, but like not to an unranked team like Vanderbilt.
Yeah, but they also beat Georgia. So no, I mean, if that's their only loss, they'll be in for sure. If they get if a second or third, they might be on the outside looking in, but I
I
don't
was,
think they're I
I
mean, they're
was,
still in the top 10 after losing that game. So
yeah,
they're
but
technically in the playoffs right now.
yeah, but and I mean, I guess this goes into your next point, I think. But like, would you rather
So
your one loss beat at Georgia, or would you rather your one loss beat at Vanderbilt?
it's very true. Yeah, I'll get into my next point. So my next question isn't actually a question, Jonna. It's a statement. Clemson is a lock for the playoffs. You guys are going to the playoffs. I looked at your schedule. The toughest game you have is South Carolina. So you guys are a shoe in, I think. That's what I think. Clemson's making it. Try to disagree. You wouldn't want to disagree. And I know
No,
you
I don't.
don't.
And I really hope we somehow get a bye because then I get to go to a college football playoff game at home in Clemson.
Are those tickets gonna be insane?
Yeah, you should come for it.
You're going though? Dude, a
I
home
mean, yeah,
playoff
Matt.
game would be
Matt,
insane.
if
Yeah, no,
there's
you
a
guys
college
you guys need to
football playoff
be
home game in Clemson in the last year I'm living here, I
you
can't.
guys can't yeah. You guys can't get a bye week though. If you get a bye week, you don't get the home game. I think if you're like 5, 6, 7, or 8 though, you get a home game.
Oh, that's how it is. So 1 through 4 get a bye, and then 5, 6, 7, and 8 have a home game for the first game of the playoffs.
Correct. Yeah. And then I think
Oh,
the next games are
and
at
I
like
mean,
neutral sites.
I guess I'm not going to say obviously because it's college football, anything can happen. But I mean, obviously, that's the most likely thing to happen
Or
for us.
maybe the bye weeks get home games and then it's neutral sites. I guess I don't know. It's a good question. But
That's
I
the
don't know.
thing is
I you
I'm sure
guys
if
would
we
have
went to
to sorry, you guys would have to really sputter out to miss the play. I'm just like South
that's
Carolina's your toughest game.
that's the
So
thing.
if
It's
you
like
guys win that one, you should be in.
when every team that has been borderline top 25 and or just out of it, we have rolled by like 60 points. And
Yeah.
it's like not even close. Like I've been to these games and I'm leaving in the first half because we're up 52-7.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
it's
You guys are dominating.
yeah, no, our run game, pass game, our defense, like everything is just clicking right now. And Cade Klubnik actually looks like a real quarterback. Unlike years past. And against Georgia.
Yeah.
But
All right. Well, that's your team. I wanted to ask you one question about my team. In theory, wouldn't Wisconsin make the playoffs if they win out? We'd be in the playoffs, I think, right? If we
what's
win out.
I keep trying to like refer to them as we, but like I'm
If
definitely
we
more of a Clemson fan.
if the Badgers win out, they would end up beating Oregon, Penn State, and then whoever the Big Ten champion is, basically. They're in the play. 2 losses to Bama and USC. I think they're in the playoffs if they do that, right?
Who's at the top of the Big Ten right now?
Ohio State and Oregon.
In Ohio State's obviously they're both no loss, or
Yeah, they're both undefeated. I think.
I
Yeah.
mean,
In theory, right?
how much did
'Cause
you guys
there'll
lose
be
to
a
Bama by?
there'll be a be 10-42,
See,
maybe.
if we just question Bama,
We're not.
and most likely getting in or barely getting in because they lost to Vanderbilt in a close game, then I'm just going to take a wild guess and say that the Badgers don't have a chance, even if they do win out.
But that's not a bad loss.
Well, do the Badgers? No, they don't. They don't.
I
Have
mean,
a,
but like
do they
the
have a chance
Clemson
in the
point,
Big
you
Ten
guys lost to
championship?
Georgia in an ass kicking, but it doesn't count the same as an ass kicking. It just means you played Georgia, you know. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just trying to indulge myself with
Yeah, no, no,
a
I
miracle
completely
Wisconsin
get
run
that, but
here.
I was just thinking back to like obviously that conversation wasn't too long ago, and I was just thinking back to my last points. But I mean, I guess yeah, because what Oregon's ranked 3 or 4 right now, maybe
Yeah,
higher,
Ohio State's ranked 2, I think.
and you play Ohio State for sure.
I mean, we'd probably play him in the Big Ten championship.
So I guess realistically, I mean, yeah, if you could, if Wisconsin somehow beats both Ohio State and Oregon, should I
Grant.
wait?
Sorry, no, yeah, I was fixing
Well, no, I
my
wasn't
pop
sure if I should have
filter. I
been
don't have
waiting.
this thing. I think I broke it like right when I opened it, low key,
Is
but
that the one from John?
it still kind of works. Yeah, it's from John and Anna as a wedding gift or
Oh, I didn't even realize that. I
an
forgot about that.
officiating gift. But yeah, I'm in fantasy land. Wisconsin's that's very unrealistic.
But realistically, if Wisconsin somehow wins against Ohio State and Oregon, how many other teams can say that they beat 2 top 5 teams, 2 top 10 teams?
Probably very few.
Very few. And if one of Wisconsin's 2 losses is to Bama, then yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously they have a chance, but it's still
In theory,
in theory, yes.
yes. This is all
Keyword.
theoretical. Well, let's talk some reality. Give me your Heisman Trophy winner. Who's your Heisman? Who's your pick to win Heisman?
I have been fighting myself about this conversation. So can we both agree that there are only 2 options at this point in time?
I'm thinking of 2. I have 2 that I think should win it.
So Genty and Travis.
Yes, that's exactly it. We're on the same page here. Although
no, and
Cam Ward might be ahead of him.
Someone else wins it, then it's all fucking rigged. Oh God, again. That was only my second though. I owe you $2.
F bombs don't know. Actually, you owe me $55. Let's get that right. First of all, for league fee.
We don't have to talk
for league fee and for a birthday present. Yeah, you owe me.
League fee? No, I paid you
for Maurer. For Maurer.
Oh no, Pete always pays that. Get your money from Pete.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
you take
what
that
were we
out.
talking? Oh, we were talking about Heisman.
You're taking that last part out, right?
The what part?
The money talk.
No, I'm gonna keep it in. No, I've already addressed this. I don't count F-bombs during fucking interviews. So
No, I was
I only pay it when I'm
I guess
just by
it's too late
myself.
now, but I was just saying the fact that you brought up that I owe you money. Oh well.
Damn it.
Well, little
Giancarlo
brother has
Stanton
an
just hit a home
older
run.
brother.
I hate that
Um,
dude. But so
so he's my high.
you're thinking Genty or Travis Hunter?
I it's just genuinely such a hard comparison. And like, because obviously Genty's numbers are absolutely ridiculous. There is
Like,
one other person in FBS history that has gotten to these numbers faster or had better numbers in this few of games or something.
who was it?
Now you got me looking stuff up.
Sorry. But yeah, no, I mean, Genty's been unbelievable. He's got like 1,000 yards and 16 touchdowns in 2 games, but 2 of those games he got pulled at half. He got benched at, or not benched, but he got pulled
Yeah,
out at halftime. So
for
he
the
had
first
basically has 1,000 yards and 16 touchdowns in 4 games. It's video game numbers.
yeah. No, and that's the thing is like I don't care who. Oh, one day ago I'm seeing a post that says can Ashton Genty break Barry Sanders single. Oh, okay, that's single
So
season.
it's probably Barry Sanders. Okay,
He's
there you go.
only.
But who's the pick here? You give me two
Oh,
answers. You think
wait, let me say
Genty
this.
or
Let me say this before I
Travis?
start.
All right, go
Genty
ahead.
is only one of 5 players to rush for over 1,000 yards in the first 5 games of a season since 2000, joining Garrett Wolf, Leonard Fournette, Bryce Love, wow, Jarrett Patterson. I don't know who a lot of those people are, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither.
Brian,
What a list to be on. What a list to be on.
I mean, that's not the name I was looking for, but
Barry Sanders is
that's the
probably
thing. Obviously, I don't care. Like Boise plays good enough competition for if he's putting up those numbers, you're obviously going to put up numbers no matter where you play. And he had a chance to go anywhere for a million plus in NIL, and he was like, "No, I'd rather finish what I started."
yeah.
But at the same time, Travis Hunter is playing on 2 sides of the ball. He has the most snaps by a mile in college football right now.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Yeah.
even like you see Genty's workload, like people are gonna try to bring that up, how many carries he's getting, and he's still like, I mean, shit, he's averaging 10 yards a carry, which is
Yeah.
but so I'm not like I genuinely am not trying to take anything away from the dude. But Travis Hunter is a top 5 cornerback and a top 5 wide receiver in college football.
Yeah.
And I mean, wide receiver might be able to get pushed a little bit just because there's more talent, but like his ball skills overall are just next to none. And I'm a little biased because I followed Travis Hunter since he was in high school.
Oh.
So I want to go with him, but at the same time, like I don't feel bad taking him because of the fact that like it's the amount of snaps, the amount like he's playing like 90% of every single game he's in or something. I mean, maybe not
Yeah.
that much, but like
Still, it's
it's
ridiculous what he's
ridiculous.
doing.
And
So
everybody,
you're going Hunter with your
yeah,
pick.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm taking Hunter. Not to mention that I mean, obviously Genty's getting the same treatment. Like everyone's just hunting his head, but
Yeah.
everybody's hunting Travis's head, and he's on both sides of the ball, and
That's
he's
true.
playing better competition,
Mm-hmm.
and he's
Yeah.
still putting up ridiculous numbers.
Fair enough. Yeah. So it's probably it's between those two right now, but I don't know. I think Cam Ward might sneak up on these guys.
Is he in the number 3 spot right now?
Probably. I don't know. I mean, he had that comeback against Cal. He looked pretty damn good, but yeah, I don't know. I'm sure those three are all, tops in the conversation, but enough oh, you had something to add, sorry.
Well, I low key feel like Ewers would probably be maybe in the conversation if he hadn't been injured for a few games.
Not anymore. Sorry,
Yeah,
Quinn.
exactly.
Sorry,
I
Quinn.
genuinely feel like that's the only. I genuinely feel like that's the only quarterback that would have a chance. Like the only other guy that I guess Ward, Milton kind of
Well,
comes to
Miami's
mind,
undefeated, so and he's
but I
Nico.
was no, I was
Not
gonna
after
say
that game.
like obviously Milton comes to mind, but I don't even think or Milrow, not Milton, Milrow.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I was like Joe Milton, the Patriots quarterback.
that's who the Pats should start. Holy shit, that dude's got
Yeah,
it.
should have put
Okay.
that in the would you rather.
Anyways,
But yeah, Milrow just lost, so that's gonna
no,
shoot
I
him
don't even
down.
think Milrow's the best player on his. He's not the best player on his team.
Ryan Williams, yeah,
Dude, he is insane.
he just
He is
makes
the
it look so
best.
effortless.
He is the best football player. No, dude, like he's what I
He looks
wish
like
George
he's.
Matt. He's what I wish George Pickens was.
Oh yeah, no,
It's
he just
still,
like he looks
it's
like he's jogging out there, and he's the fastest guy in the field.
no,
It's
it's
insane.
ridiculous. Like his strides might be like 9 feet long. Like I don't even know the way he's. I don't. It's ridiculous to watch that
Yeah,
man play football.
yeah. But enough Heisman talk. Give me your championship pick. Who's gonna win the first ever 12-team college football
Ooh,
playoff? I don't know if I asked you this one
ooh.
last time or not,
No, I
but
don't think you definitely didn't.
give me your winner. Give me who's winning it all.
Ooh.
Clemson.
That's the thing, is like that's I can't say that after
You guys not getting
how
past
much
Georgia.
money I did in traveling to Atlanta just to watch us get washed by 30 and maybe cross the 50-yard line like 3 times.
Yeah, that's tough.
So
So you're picking Wisconsin. We're running the table.
I'm gonna go. Gosh, damn, that's the one thing I. Let's go. Let's go Texas.
Nice. I like it. Arch
Like,
Manning winning MVP.
I was gonna say Quinn Ewers gonna go down. No, no, no. They finna pull Quinn Ewers in the big game, just like they pulled
Like
Hurt,
Tua.
and then he finna cook.
Okay, they're gonna do the old Nick Saban. Pull out Jalen Hurts for Tua. Bring in the closer, Arch Manning. I like that. That could happen. Oh, but yeah, Texas, good pick. Good pick. All right, I only got one thing left for you. I know you don't follow too much baseball, but you are in a fantasy baseball league, so you have a certain level of expertise here. So just give me just one question on MLB. Just give me a World Series pick. Who you got winning it all?
This is
Yankees are winning right now, if that's relevant.
the score of the Dodgers game.
Dodgers are up 3-0. Yeah, they're in a must win. They could be eliminated tonight. Padres are up 2-1 on them. Who you got winning the World Series, brother?
You said so. Mets are through already, so then it's between. Okay. Mm, pa- mm, do Padres still have Machado?
Oh yeah, they got Machado. They got Fernando Tatis. They got Luis Arraez, the hit king. Who else they got?
I kind.
I know you're a big fan of Jerks and Profar and Jackson Merrill, of course. You Darvish, I know you know him.
I think I'm gonna go
Pods?
Padres. I think I'm gonna go
You're going
Padres.
Padres?
I'm gonna stick
You,
by my favorite baseball player of all time,
Machado,
Manny Machado.
because you played third base.
He's why I played third base. He's why I wore number 13.
It's a tough position to play. But yeah, man, thanks for joining me on the podcast. I just got one last question for you. Should we start a podcast?
Let's run it. I've been saying, dude, this whole time, I genuinely think you, Dan, and I starting a podcast, or
Yeah.
just, honestly, even just us, Because I know
Yeah.
you and I have talked about it, but I don't know if you want to start 3 podcasts, but
No, I do.
you do.
I do. Yeah, I want to start as many as possible. I'm
That's
trying to go Dave Portnoy on this whole, but yeah, I don't know. That was my last question. I already knew. I don't know. We should. Yeah, we gotta hit up the Goose, or like I said, just do a brothers podcast would be fun too.
for
But
real.
yeah, just something to think about there, kind of thing.
I don't know. I was big into it for a while, and then just everything, all the text group chats and everything got quiet. So then I just hadn't thought about it in a while, to be honest. But
Yeah, you just need to name the podcast, and then everything else will come through.
what's the
That's
thing?
all it takes.
Do we want to do ours first, or do we want to do Dan's first, or
I don't
we'll go
know.
with Danny first?
I don't know. The goose is a busy man. We'll have to talk to him. But yeah, we'll talk more about this soon. But yeah, man, thanks again for joining me on the pod today.
Oh, I shouldn't do that.
See you later. You can salute, right? Is that stolen valor?
That's why I stopped. I wasn't really sure. I didn't want to like make people.
For
think-
anyone listening on Spotify, Jona just saluted. So do what you will with
Support the troops. Donate to the Hurricane Helen Fund.
Yes.
Save the people because our president won't.
All right. Well, that's where we're gonna end it. We're not gonna get into the Politico. We're just I guess I did bring up AOC earlier.
All right. I'd rather save foreigners too. Let's not save our own country. We're only drowning.
All right. Thank you so much, Jona. Appreciate it. Thanks again, Jona, for pulling up to the podcast. Really appreciate you, Lil Bro. I keep Lil Broing you. But no, really appreciate it, man. It was good talking Steelers, good talking some Russ Wilson, our guy. But yeah, we'll do it again soon. Maybe start up our own podcast, perhaps. But let's get to everyone's favorite moment of the week. The Goosebump moments of the week. Starting off at number 10. I'm not done talking about it. Vanderbilt upsets Alabama in historic fashion.
And what an investment they've made in Diego Pavia, this attitude, this program, and the biggest win on the West End. Vanderbilt takes down number 1 Alabama. Diego Pavia very nearly went into the stands to celebrate with his brothers, but instead, they've come onto the field with him. And the rest of the students will do the same.
Number 9, Cam Ward with a 77-yard pass to Xavier Restrepo en route to a 25-point comeback.
From his end zone, Restrepo open. Xavier Restrepo into Bear territory. He's on his way. Can he get it in? And just like that, one into the other, 77 yards.
Number 8, it was the smart move at the time, but here's Tennessee allowing Malachi Singleton to score the game winner as Arkansas completes the upset.
Off inside, Russell. No, on the outside, touchdown. Singleton keeps it and scores. Malachi Singleton off the bench.
Number 7, Jalen Tolbert fights through injury to score the game winner for the Dallas Cowboys.
Prescott throws, crossing, it's caught for the touchdown! It's Tolbert! Stays in the game and grabs it for the score!
Number 6, Isaiah Simmons blocks the game-tying field goal, and Bryce Ford Wheaton returns it 60 yards for the TD as the Giants upset the Seahawks.
Game at 23, and it's blocked! Isaiah Simmons, and picked up by Bryce Ford Wheaton, and he is gonna go! The Giants sideline erupts! Unbelievable!
Number 5, Kerry Carpenter with the game-winning 3-run shot to give Detroit the Game 2 W.
Runner goes, pitch is swung on, a high fly ball to right field. This one is gonna fly! A 3-run home run! Kerry Carpenter! The Tigers up 3-0 as Carpenter, an emphatic, towering fly ball home run.
Number 4, Pete Alonso with a game-winning home run to eliminate the Brewers.
Swing and a ball drilled, right field, Frelick back, at the wall, out of here! It's out of here! Alonso, an opposite field home run, and the Mets had the lead! Pete Alonso, the polar bear, takes Devin Williams deep. And here in the ninth, the comeback kids have done it again.
Number 3, UConn stops Temple on 4th and game, and Jordan Wright returns it 96 yards for the touchdown.
The ball comes out. Wow. UConn gets the stop. They're going to run it back the entire way. The Huskies close this one out. Much. Jordan Wright with the touchdown. UConn wins the game.
Number 2, Kadarrell Hodge with the walk-off touchdown in overtime on Thursday Night Football for the Falcons.
That's fired, that's caught, and that is Hodge. And Hodge is going to take it to the end zone. A most improbable win for the Atlanta Falcons.
Number 1, Nick Castellanos walks it off in Game 2 for the Phillies.
Into left field, down the line, it's a fair ball, and the Phillies have tied the series. Back to Queens, one apiece. Castellanos the hero.
I just realized Nick Castellanos might be to blame for the back-to-back hurricane. He hit a walk-off and Hurricane Milton came pouring in. But I did want to point out one thing from the Goosebump moments of the week. The number 9 moment, the 77-yard pass from Cam Ward to Xavier Restrepo. I don't know if you noticed, but the announcer's voice was very hoarse during that call. That was Reese Davis on the call, and he put on an all-time performance. He's on College Game Day, and he might have done another game before that one, or maybe just went super late, but halfway through the game, he lost his voice, but he kept calling it, and like voice cracks on like every other sentence, but he kept pushing through. That was, I don't know. I'm a bigger fan of, I think, commentary than most. That's, I don't know, one of my favorite parts about watching sports, but that was inspiring to me. Him just pushing through, knowing he was going to voice crack at any moment. And he was voice cracking at every moment, but he kept going through, and he commentated Miami as they came back from down 25 points. Cam Ward for Heisman. But let's finish out the show here. We got our TNF pick, Thursday night football. This week we got 49ers at the Seahawks. The Seahawks are not favored. The 49ers are favored -3.5. I'm going to go in direct opposition to my little bro's pick. He picked Seahawks money line. I'm not going to take... No, I'm going to take the points. I'm going to take 49ers -3.5. I think the Seahawks are frauds. I think the Giants proved that last week. We saw that in the Goosebump moments of the week. And while the Niners are nothing to be impressed by at 2-3, they're not losing this game. It's a must win for them because their next 2 games are Chiefs and then the Cowboys. So I think this is going to be a Kyle Shanahan masterclass. And as far as the Seahawks go, who started off 3-0 and on top of the world, not even the 12th man can save them in this game.